What is the natural point of aim and how do we find it? I'll describe the natural point of aim like this. Trying to pocket the one in the corner, step onto the shot line, and get your visual alignment. If you were to blindfold yourself, would you still make it? So that was a pretty crazy example, but do you think possibly that your natural point of aim when you're on the aiming line or the shot line is causing you hidden accuracy issues? Today, I'm going to break the shot line into two parts. First being the visual, which is anything that takes place when you're back away from the table or aiming, right? So aiming is visual. And then second being the physical, which is going to be the process of you stepping into the shot, stepping onto the shot line, bringing your cue down onto that shot line. And we're going to run some tests that you can do at home to see if there are hidden inconsistencies in either your visual or your physical that is costing you accuracy. We're going to be starting out with the visual portion of the aiming line. For the ease of understanding, I have two lasers set up here. You'll want to start out by setting a perfect 30-degree cut shot up. I want you to make it a somewhat easy shot. For example, this is aiming into the corner pocket where the pocket plays wide. It is set up precisely through the ghost ball to go through the center of the pocket designated by that T. And this laser shoots back to the position where the cue ball will be. So it's marked by a paper reinforcement. And this would be the object ball going to this corner. And again, this is the line of center through ghost ball, through object ball to center of pocket. You want to be absolutely precise so that when you do your visual alignment testing, you're getting positive feedback results. So again, I use the Aimrite by AimPro, which is a ghost ball training system, and you can just shoot a line straight through the line on the AimPro trainer back to the cue ball, designating a perfect 30-degree cut shot. The object ball is approximately 3 feet from pocket. Cue ball is approximately 2 feet from object ball. Keep it simple. Give yourself room to work. This is absolutely overkill, but I think it's important when it comes down to being precise for natural point of aim. So we've eliminated any aiming system errors by using the Aimrite ghost ball training system here that sends that object ball to the physical center or through the line of center to physical center pocket. What we can't determine, or most of you are unable to determine, is the effects that your table have on cut-induced throw. My shot machine allows me to specifically hone in on that effect. I can set this machine to send this ball at a certain speed. In this case, it's 20 diamond speed, so that we have the speed factored in. It will also produce the effects of the cleanliness of the balls, the condition of the cloth, and also the humidities at the room right now. So with line of center being toward physical center pocket, if I were to send this ball, we could look at the effects. You can see that that object ball traveled in just to the left of center, meaning over a 3-foot span at a 20 diamond speed, that ball shifted 1/2 ball or 1/8 inches. But I can set this machine up again and I can elevate the speed. Whoops, I'm decreasing the speed. And I can literally increase the speed by just a couple of diamonds, meaning we're not going to throw as much, so it's going to move more back toward the line of centers. I'll go ahead and send that. And you can see we just barely knocked over the ball. What my point is here for you folks during this testing is your line of center is to center of pocket using this 30-degree cut. But you know throw is going to be off to the left of that. So I know exactly at 20 diamond speed, it's 1/2 ball. I can be very precise. But when you're pocketing these and we're doing the testing, just understand your optimal pocketing area, if you hit it correctly at a 30-degree shot, is not going to be the center of the pocket. It's going to be left of center if you're using 20 diamond speed and the conditions replicate mine. But you should understand that. Now that the hard part's done and we're all set up, the visual alignment testing is super simple and effective. First, start with the laser on, just to get the concept of what's going on here. If you stand down here like you normally do in your setup, and you adjust until you see that laser running along the edge of that object ball, that is your proper visual alignment on the aiming line. Also, if you think about it, it's a reverse engineered vision center. That laser shining back this way, if you see that line correctly, will come out where your vision center is. So if you had problems on my eye alignment with astigmatism using the mirror and the playing card, use this system. It's going to work the same way, okay? It'll tell you where it's at. So that being said, if I get down here and I get on this the way I normally do, and I see that laser right on the edge of that object ball, if I were to get down on this this shot and take that, it should enter the pocket left of center. And it did, because there's no other place it can go. So now another way to do this, if I set another one up very quick, and you have a partner that can help you out without moving that laser, the way that I recommend learning it is if you get down here, do your thing, say, yep, this is absolutely it, get down on the shot, and when you're down on the shot, you freeze and you have them turn that laser on. When they turn that laser on, if that line doesn't correspond with the proper location, or if you're off that aiming line, for example, I'm going to do something extreme that you'll notice in the camera. If I was down here and you turned that laser on, well, obviously I am way, way, way off of where I should be. And you'll notice it right away when they turn that laser on. So this is something that you can practice either with a laser on with this particular cut shot setup. And the reason that we use that again is because that laser runs right along the edge, producing a 30-degree cut shot. The shot machine showed us the throw. You just know you're going to move to the left of center if you have line of center there. So this is your very simple either way to find your vision center, or find your aiming line, or find your visual alignment on the aiming line. If you're down here and you see that line, okay, I see that line perfectly, right on the edge of that object ball. I'm 100% there. If I step in on this and I get down on this shot and I shoot this shot and something like this happens, you are causing something physical about the way you're getting down on that shot is physically causing you to come off that line. Now, I'm going to do it again, and I want you to think about this, okay? I'm lined up. I'm stepping wide, right? You see me step way wide here. I'm stepping way out off the shot line, and then I'm just getting down naturally. Now, you can see I'm almost shooting a straight shot here, right? What happens is that when you get your perfect visual alignment, which I know absolutely because the laser's telling me it is, and I step in, if I get in there and it's a little bit off, I start to do these subconscious adjustments, right? You start looking from cue to object, cue to object, object to pocket, cue to object, and you'll start making these weird subconscious adjustments that you don't even know you're doing, trying to correct for that physical offset that your mind is telling you something's wrong. So the way to test that, you have the laser that shows you and allows you to practice with the correct visual alignment. If you leave that on, the way to test your physical now, okay, is I see my line, perfect. We know if I get down on that line and shoot this shot, it will go left of center, okay? But what happens when you're physically off? Well, here's what I want you to do. To test your physical, now that you're lined up visually, only look at the cue ball when you get down on the shot, okay? I'm looking at that line. Yes, I'm visually aligned. Perfect. When you get down in this shot, you focus 100% only on that cue ball. Never look down table again. So I'm locked in. Yes, 100%. That's my spot. Staring at the cue ball. I'm only looking at the cue ball. 100% at the cue ball. Stroke through. Physically and visually, that was an absolutely perfect shot. It went in just left of center, okay? So you're probably thinking, well, what am I learning right here? Well, we're cheating, right? We're using the laser to visually set ourselves up. If I only stare at this cue ball again, if I step a little bit outside of that last shot, if I'm only staring at the cue ball, I'm lined up, everything looks good. I'm going to step just a little bit outside, only looking at that cue ball, only looking at that cue ball, only looking at that cue ball. How'd I miss? I physically missed that shot, okay? Because I couldn't look down table and start making subconscious corrections. We don't want to do subconscious corrections. Here I am lined up. I'm going to step in pretty straight and get down on the shot. What in the world happened right there? Somehow I overcut it because I stepped in. My body, I didn't allow my shooting arm, my stroking arm, to have the room that it needed. So this is how you can determine and test both visual and physical. All right. You have the visual. There's no guessing. You have the cut. It's 30 degree. No guessing. I don't care whose aiming system you use. You know, line of center and throw. You should make every shot left of center. I have my visual aiming because there's a line there. I can see visually referencing the laser and the edge of the object ball where I need to be. There it is. I'm there. Okay. Now, if I only focus 100% on that cue ball, I'm relying, like on that blindfolded shot, I'm relying on my physical, what would you call it? Repetition. I'm counting on my physical repetition. You see, I always measure the distance from my hip to the cue ball. I'm repeating. It's repetition. I'm looking at that laser. It's on the edge of the object ball. It's repetition. Okay? When I step in, only focusing on that object or on the cue ball, now I have to physically step down perfectly, because when I step down, I can't make any more adjustments. What I see here is what I do there. So let's go through it again. I step in, what I normally would step in, only focusing on the cue ball, and stroke through. And where do we go? Right to the left of center. Work on that repetition. And by repetition, I mean line up, do whatever you do, same physical movement, get down on the shot, and shoot through. Left side, cue ball almost back in the same spot. We're doing the same thing. So we've tested vision, we've tested physical, we determine where our problems are, and when it comes down to it, after you've practiced it enough and you get down on it and you do the same thing, you don't have to do anything different. It just keeps going to the same spot. So that's a pretty easy way to go through and either diagnose or adjust your current visual aiming or physical approach to the shot. Just by using the Aim Right by Aim Pro, you can eliminate any errors in your aiming system and establish a perfect 30-degree cut to go ahead and proceed with the test. And then using something like this laser, this is a Ryobi from a big box store, shooting that line back and using that to create essentially an aim line which is exact to allow you to hone in how you aim and where you send that object ball to in the pocket location. So using those 2 steps for the visual alignment will help you refine that. And then the physical aspect of it, how you need that repeatability of stepping down onto that shot is super important as well. And it's very easy to diagnose the 2 aspects of it separately. Obviously, when I say separate the visual from the physical, you know, those are 2 integrated systems that go into aiming and the shot line. So when you actually step out of a training scenario and go to playing actual pool, those will integrate and mesh together and flow smoothly. So ideally, that's your goal, but it's nice to break them down separately so that you can work on them both individually. One thing, I'm going to use some tape. If you're having problems getting that repeatability with your physical aspect of the shot line, we can make a couple marks on the carpet that you can reference from shot to shot. I'll show you that real quick with an inset video and show you how you can use your actual physical position to alter the object ball location within the pocket. And it's super simple, and it's something that's just going to naturally come subconscious to you without thinking about after trying it a couple times. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let's get on to that real quick and finish this out. Okay, I'm probably going to be blurry in this video, but I'm putting emphasis on the pocketing location of the object ball. I've also got a camera over here facing down at my feet and a couple of pieces of tape on the ground. I'm using that tape so that we can come back and use it as a reference as to where we are positioning our body on the shot. And we made it. So now if you look down at my feet, you can see where I'm at. This foot is just slightly off this piece of tape, and this one here is just slightly to the right. So now I have a reference, right? So if I set up another shot without looking down, I just do my alignment again. I physically set up, step in, get down, take the shot. There we are. This foot's slightly over, and this one's in the exact same spot. We also pocketed almost in the exact same spot as well. So what happens now if I want to pocket toward the right side of the pocket? Let's say I block off this left side, right? So we'll put another ball down here. What happens to my feet? Well, I'm cutting it more, so I should come, and I'm pointing, the camera can see this, I should be more over toward this side, but I'm still gonna be about the same distance away, right? So I'm visualizing that aiming line, I'm setting up my position, okay? And now I'm gonna go ahead, step in, get down, and shoot the ball. All right, so what happened here? You can see that my foot shifted over to the right, and this one is pulled back. Effectively, it's rotating my body. Consistent setup, especially of the rear foot, is crucial to accuracy. The difference between the first and third shot equated to a 4.5 degree shift. If your foot is off by more than an inch, you're compensating somewhere within your stroke. Be sure to subscribe to support future videos, and thank you for watching.